Oh, let's see if I remember how this goes. Welcome to that Eurovision site, Eurovision with a slice of life. I'm Shiloh, and today I'm here with Rory, and we are going to be talking about Greece's artist announcement, which happened approximately 2 hours ago at the time we're recording this. We were really on the ball and we just jumped on Zoom.
Yeah,
How are you doing
and
today,
it's
Rory?
I'm good. Yeah, literally just finished work. The news dropped whilst I was working, so I was kind of a bit like, "Hang on a minute, guys, we gotta work out this in a second. What the hell is going on right now in Greece? I need to see what's happening." So I'm pretty sure that they were probably mad at me afterwards, but hey, what they don't know won't
Eurovision's
hurt
more
them. It's
important.
fine. Exactly. But no, it's been good. It's been good, and I'm really, really excited to get talking about this because wow, is like wow.
Yeah. So to put it into words, Greece has announced Marina Satti as their representative for the Eurovision Song Contest 2024. And Rory and I got real excited in the group chat about this. I think we both know the same one Marina Satti song. Or
Yeah,
do you know more of her
yeah.
songs?
I only know really that one. I feel like I've heard other bits just because obviously like she's been floating around in sort of Eurofans bubbles for a while. But the one that I know for sure myself is Mantisa. And wow, oh my God, it's so good. Like for those of you who haven't heard of it, think of like Yana Terzi, but not patriotic, if you understand what I mean. As in, like, it's not like an ode to Greece or anything like that. It's very, what's the right way of saying it? Kind of just emotional, but also really like ethnic. And oh, I could, you just need to listen to it. You just need to listen to it. I will be doing it an injustice if I keep trying to describe it, but it's so good. What
It's
do
a
you
little
think?
bit witchy, to be honest, is Mantisa. That's how I always thought about it, is that there's a little bit of a supernatural vibe going. Um,
Yeah, my thought of it, like when I hear, because the lyrics, I don't know if you've ever translated the lyrics, but the lyrics are kind of allegorical. They're talking about sort of Greece going through the sort of Eurozone crisis, and the
right.
at the time when it was released in 2013 to 2016, Greece was going through a really heavy period of
It was
uh,
2016, and I remember this because it was really, really big on Eurofan Tumblr when I was in high school. And the reason it was
yeah,
really big on Eurofan Tumblr was because it had been submitted to this fan contest. And so there are rules about like the timeline of the songs that you can submit to the fan contest. Shout out to Tumblr Vision. Um, yeah, Yannick did it with me. Yannick would remember. But yeah, so it had to have been released in 2015 or 2016. So that's when Manthisa came out, and that's how I know about Manthisa because it was real big on Eurofan Tumblr.
yeah. See, I knew about it because of a different fan contest that was going on, but this was during 2020, so like I came to it a
Mm-hmm.
little bit later. But the lyrics themselves are actually quite allegorical. So at this point, there was a lot of austerity that was going on in Greece, and obviously there was a point when Greece's broadcaster had shut down because of the cost of running the thing, and there was like high inflation, etc. But the song itself, even though it's got very like dark kind of instrumentation, the lyrics are really hopeful. So the chorus is like, I will fly, like I will come out from this. So and they kind of talk about going to a seeress as well, so sort of looking at like a psychic and sort of seeing how the country could go through. This is all allegorical, obviously. Feel free to come up with your own interpretation, but this is kind of how I read them. But it was so good. So I'm really happy that she's been picked because I mean, it's contemporary but ethnic at the same time. I mean, we've we've had worse songs like it.
Yeah, I mean, I went to the trouble of listening to a clip of her most recent song, just like on Instagram while we were setting this up, and it's it's not Manthisa. but it is very Greece at Eurovision. You know, I think this is part of a larger pattern for both Greece and Cyprus, where they send these like sort of ethnic or ethnic adjacent. I don't know. The word ethnic feels a bit funny, honestly. Maybe it has slightly different connotations in the States. But very, you know, culturally rooted in Greece. But also this has this kind of like sexy pop thing. You know, this is definitely in the tradition of like it is a little bit Eleni Ferreira, if I'm being
Yeah.
honest. This is Eleni Ferreira, this is Tamta, this is the same music that Greece and Cyprus have been sending for the past few years. But I am excited to see what Marina Satti specifically is going to do. Mostly because everybody is so excited about her.
I think it's because we all collectively know this one song, and so we
Yeah.
all have this very big built-up idea of like, oh my god, how is it going to go? But yeah, I think it's going to be interesting though. I mean, this kind of style of song we have heard from Greece before. For example, like how I was saying, sort of Onirumu with by Yana Terzi. Do you think that it could be how well it could get translate, because the last time that Greece has sent something in Greek, for example, we don't know whether or not she's going to send something in Greek yet, obviously. But if she does send something in Greek that has this kind of Greek sound, do you think that Europe will respond to it? Because in the last couple of years, it's been sort of hit and miss.
I really think that they might. The past few years have been really kind to non-English language songs. And so I think that with the right staging, a song with those kind of more supernatural Greek language vibes could really soar. Specifically, if she sends something like Mantissa and they really lean into the darkness of the instrumental and really go in on that staging, I think that it could be I think it could be Left Side. I think it could have similar success. I guess to Shum, Shum had the whole like Slavic forest spirit thing going on. I think that if they do something like that for a song like that, it's possible that people could be really into it. Or they could do the same thing that they've done every other year the past few years and it might fall flat on its face. I don't know. I really want to see them go in a different direction in terms of genre and send something closer to Mantissa, which is the song that every Euro fan on the internet is excited about right now.
Yeah.
I would love to see that, but I think the odds of them doing that might be kind of low.
Possibly. I think because she has this, well, given that we've kind of now listened to at least two songs, we have a
Yeah.
bit of an idea how things are going. It does seem that she has still this little kind of, this still sort of Greek roots in there. So I think that with that kind of cultural representation, I feel like that can work to her advantage. Not to mention as well, for the last couple of years, obviously they've been very determined to kind of have this pop vibe, but there's still some Greek in there. So, for example, with Stefania, as well as Victor Vernikos as well, and even Amanda Tenfjord as well. Like they're not Greek, but they have some Greek in them, if you know what I mean. Whereas now I think they're wanting to try and go back to how they were before with having, for example, like Katarina Duska, or Yana Terzi or Argo, for example. They're
God,
still
Argo
trying to
were so good. They got done so dirty.
literally.
I
I think
really
that
hated
should
that
not.
song when I was 16. I was like, this song is so boring. It's so weird. And now I love it.
Yeah. It has aged like a fine wine. Please go back
Yes.
and re-listen to Utopian Land if you haven't done in a while, because it's so good. Um, but I think it's going to be interesting to see how it kind of plays out, because Greece has not been doing particularly great at the moment. They've
No.
been kind of averaging kind of mid-table results, are completely non-qualifying. So maybe this is worth the risk. What do you think?
Well, what do you mean by the risk? Because again, in a lot of ways, this is Greece doing the same thing that they've done.
Well, yes, but also at the same time, because they've lent a lot more into this pop element, sort of traditional Western pop. You wouldn't hear a song like What They Say regularly in Greece, I would imagine. Like whereas the likes of Mantisa or that kind of style is a lot more prevalent, I would imagine. So do you think that sort of promoting that level back to a European level is kind of good because they're trying to sort of lean back into their own culture instead of just pandering?
I do think that it will acquire them a different kind of pre-show fan base than we usually have seen with the Greek entries, where they're just like, yes, girl, slay, or
Yeah.
whatever. I would like to see people getting really excited about the Greek cultural aspects of it, as opposed to just being like, wow, hot woman who dances. Which is, like, that's not every Greek entry these days, but it's a lot of them. And I say these days, but actually they've been doing this for 10 years. Like Aphrodisiac was just like that.
Yeah. My
Um,
number one was like that. That was what,
yeah,
nearly 20 years ago.
nearly 20 years ago, yeah. But if we got something a little closer to Die for You, like, yeah, it would acquire them a different kind of pre-show fan base, and I would like to see people getting really excited over the Greek culture aspects of it, and I think that that would give it a different kind of pre-show hype. I mean, we know that pre-show hype only goes so far. We have seen a lot of like fan favorites just like kind of fall flat. We've seen that happen a lot because the people who are watching Eurovision and the people who are voting are, by and large, not the fans who follow it year round. They're just people who, like, it's the thing they watch on television this time of year. They're just
Yeah.
normal people. And I think, like, well, I hate to be this person. I Please know that I hate to be this person, because I know that saying stuff like this lends itself to so much discourse, but sending a song like that would give them probably more of a pull with the Greek diaspora vote and whatever. I hate bringing this up because people are going to be so weird in our comments about
Yeah,
it,
but
but
I think in a way, I mean, I'm thinking about this in the same way that, for example, Évidemment is, for example, in the
mm,
way that when you think of a Greek song, how would you imagine a Greek song to sound? And to me, Mantissa would be more likely to be what a Greek sound
yeah.
sounds compared to Die Together, for example. And I think in a way, you kind of have to pander a little bit to the Western audience and sort of lead into a bit of the stereotype because
Yeah.
that gets you quite far. For example, voila,
And
that was
we've
the
talked about
stereotypical.
this we've talked
Yeah,
about this internally at the site a number of times about the sort of Francification of the French entries and such. I don't know how much it's been discussed on recordings, but it's a thing. This is a thing.
yeah. And I think it comes down to sort of personal perception of what countries should sound like. But is it the idea of a country or is it the actual sounds of the country? And as we've seen from previous years, sometimes the more Greek sounding songs don't do as well. For example, like Ella, that was a traditional sort of Greek sounding song that didn't qualify. Oneiromu didn't qualify. Utopian Land didn't qualify. Only really the sort of more Western style sounds have really kind of progressed for Greece. But maybe this could be the song that changes it. I mean, we're talking about this as if we're knowing like what the song is. We have no clue. We've like
Right.
she only was announced 2 hours ago, but like, but also at the same time, I think it is worth thinking about because if this is the kind of genre that she is going into and the one that she's more famed for, then I think then we should expect, something like this. I think she does represent the Greek music industry quite well though, because a lot of these sounding style songs come from other artists as well. So for example, like Evangelia, she's been trying to go for Greece for ages, and each time it's not happened. But she has this kind of Mediterranean style sound to her, this very kind of breathy, kind of aphrodisiac vibe, but not Greece 2012, but like aphrodisiac as in like actual aphrodisiac.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah, so I think it's going to be interesting to see like what people make of it. Of course, we don't know anything. We're only getting artists at the moment. But I mean, are you hopeful that this won't turn out to be a bit of a Greek tragedy.
I see what you did there. Yeah, no, I am. Because the other thing that I wanted to bring up about this, the other point that I had is that Marina Satti is like a known artist outside of like Eurofan circles, you know, like she has a fan base in Greece and among the Greek diaspora. I've got a good friend of my roommates is Greek, and I mentioned something about Mantissa to her one time, and she was like, oh, if you like this song, I'm going to send you these like 5 other Marina Satti songs that you should listen to. Of course I didn't listen to them, but now that's coming back to bite me, isn't it? So like there are just like normal people out there in the world who know and like her and listen to her, and I think that could be something very positive, just that she has the name recognition.
Oh yeah. But I think in a way it's going to be positive recognition instead of like the reputation precedes her, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
So we're not going to get like a Rasmus style situation where you go in expecting this really strong sound and then you kind of get a watered down version. I feel like she's kind of like got the balance right of, people know who she is, but they don't have such high expectations of her that she's going to do X, Y, and Z, that she still can be a little bit more versatile.
Mm-hmm. Because she
So
can be versatile. I mean, from the 2 songs that we've listened to, that I think both of us have listened to, like there's a range in between there, and those are styles of songs that could be watered down like a little bit to fit Eurovision, but it wouldn't be too much of a departure from her style.
yeah,
Just based on
definitely.
what Greece likes to send. I don't think they're gonna make her depart from her sound too much. I think it's likely that they chose her because they know that she can do what they want well.
Yeah, definitely. I think as well, because like how we were kind of just bringing it back again, I think if the broadcaster has a very specific vibe of what they're trying to go for, I think she has the perfect balance of um sort of, Western style pop music and culturally like appropriate style music at the same time, that she can kind of hit that sweet spot that perfectly like gets what they're looking for. So I'm hoping, fingers crossed, that things kind of work out well for her, because I mean, this is like, again, we're getting big names for Eurovision now. And like, even though she's not like, you know, everyone knows her in the entire world, she's still up there. I would say that she's along the same lines as like Noah Carell in the same, in terms of popularity, at least locally and
Mm-hmm.
domestically. So, you know, clearly we're having a good, like, it's having a more positive effect, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
But yeah, so because of that, I guess that sort of takes us to the end, because obviously we don't really know anything just yet in terms of how the song will sound. Hopefully, fingers crossed, we'll know soon, because I don't know about you, Shiloh, but I'm getting very impatient. I want national final songs to obsess over now. I'm
It's
I'm
still
at that.
only October. It's still only October. We don't like we're not gonna have anything except like Festivali Ikungas and Vidbeer in December. Like we have another month before we really get into it.
That's true. Well, I know we've got Junior Eurovision, so we have got something
That's
to tide us
true.
over till then. But I'm getting it. I'm getting impatient. But no, it should be good. But yes, so yeah, that takes us to the end of this video. We're talking about Marina Satti. What do you think about her? Let us know what you think. Do you think that she's going to be, one of the big artists that we should be looking out for? Do you think that maybe we should kind of hold off on our enthusiasm just yet? Let us know what you think. It's an open conversation, so we're always happy to talk in the comments section below. Also, be sure to follow us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, Tumblr, Blue Sky, Threads, pretty much every single social media platform that you have, we're probably on it. So yeah, feel free to follow us on all of those places at that Euro site. That's going to be fantastic. And then yeah, subscribe here. Like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, do what you need to do just to make sure that you get notified from whenever new videos, interviews, whatever start coming out, because obviously we're going to be heading over to Nice very soon, so can't wait for that. And yeah, I'm really looking forward to seeing how things kind of play out. It's already starting to shape up to be quite a strong year. Touch wood, anyway, at least in terms of artists. Whether it's the songs, completely different thing, but
Right, yeah.
artist wise, it's going to be strong. So yeah. So yeah, shall we say farewell?
Yeah.
Yeah, bye.
Bye.